What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to TTB Ravens Media, bringing Ravens content every single day. Joshua, how are you doing today? What's going on?
Man, I'm doing pretty good. Just to know that today is our 1 year anniversary on YouTube, man. It's exciting. It's a blessing. To have as many subscribers as we have, as many people that we have. Following the TTB train, and then on top of that, be able to still watch some football today with the HBCU Legacy Bowl, and even on top of that, Morgan versus Howard in the All Star in this All Star weekend as well. So, very excited to still see some football being played. Talk about some possible picks or some possible prospects. So, I'm just happy. I'm happy that we got some people in the stream and looking forward to the more that's coming in.
Absolutely. I mean, how are you doing, Jonathan? How are you doing, Void? And shout out to King Ivo. King Ivo was actually watched our very first video. Fun fact. And that's something that I wanted to go back to is I wanted to see the original video, the very first video. If you guys didn't know, we can, I may have to share some screens so you guys can see the changes that have happened in the quality within the last year or so. It takes forever to go back to the last page, but all right, here we go. I'm almost there, guys. Don't worry. Oh my goodness. Why do we have so many videos? I guess a year will do that, but all right. Keep on going back.
For us when we having fun, man.
Aha. Got it. Found it. Okay. Yes, Void. It was the Corey Davis video. Yes. Void says no hats. That is true. Yes, I went wine tasting today, so I'm not wearing a hat. Very rare occasion. Let's see here. Oh, yeah. Yeah, this is some good stuff. Let's see here. I got to share screen on this. The very first video. Share screen. Slides. No, not slides. Sorry, I'm not very good at sharing screen. Here we go. Look at this. Look at that. Some top quality stuff right there.
Oh man.
We got very different backdrops, very different looks going on. It's pretty great. I got a super scruffy beard right here. Definitely not all the way filled in. It's all good. But I want to see, let's see. Do we have anyone in here that's in the stream? Because I know we've got a lot of people that I see consistently. There's King Ivo. How you doing, King? I know King Ivo was in the stream earlier. Shout out to King Ivo. You see him on the little stream thing. Yeah, shout out to King Ivo. Thank you so much. And thank you, Paul Kendrick, for the fancy shirt. Thank you. You guys should see the drip I got on below this shirt. I don't know if I can really show it on camera, though, because it's on top of my computer. But don't worry, guys. I'm repping some drip. Don't worry. You know what? Nah, I got to show it off. I got to stand up real quick.
Let the people see. Let the people see.
Hold on. Oh, this is so awkward. Okay. I don't really know how I'm going to show the shoes, but here, can you guys see the shoes?
Oh,
you see the shoes?
He put out the ones.
Yeah. Oh.
Okay.
Yes.
This is what we doing for wine tasting?
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, so that's that. But let's keep going through it because this is funny because this is our very first video.
How many views do we have on that one?
An absurd 1,600 views on our very first video, which was wild. Appreciate it, Jonathan. Appreciate it. Oh man. But yeah, I love how this guy commented, "Y'all don't know football because we didn't want Corey Davis." How did we do on that take? I think we
Bro,
did all right.
bro, we've been getting we. How long have we had people come to the stream or comment saying we don't know football? It's cool.
Oh, all
It's
the
cool.
time.
It is pretty cool. Like
All right.
it is what it is.
Absolutely.
Just wait till the takes that we do this upcoming year. So
Oh yeah. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I mean, I already don't want Postman, so
man, listen, I had to give everybody a warning. Don't attack my good brother, man. Don't attack my good brother, man.
oh yeah. It's all good. A lot of people hate me. It's all good. But yeah, guys, we're just kind of hopping on stream. Just gonna talk with you guys about, maybe a little bit about the HBCU Legacy Bowl. Or is that what they called it, or was it Legacy Game? Or was it Bowl or
Yeah,
Game?
the HBCU Legacy Bowl.
Bowl. Okay.
Pretty much Doug Williams and I want to say James Shaq Harris. They pretty much was the founders of this. Pat Mahomes and his foundation played a part in it. You had Team Jack Gaither. If you don't know who Jack Gaither is, he is one of the and he's gone down in history as one of the most prolific FAMU coaches. He started coaching in 1937. And you had Team Eddie Robinson that represented the SWAC and the SIAC. He also was a prolific coach at Grambling State, where Doug Williams actually went to and won the Super Bowl. FAMU also put out a lot of great products as well. Offensive guard is actually should be in the Hall of Fame. He played for the Dallas Cowboys and also played in those 3 championships as well. Jack Gaither's team was represented by the CIAA and the MEAC conference as well. So there was a lot of talent out there. Me personally, if we trade away Tyler Huntley, I know which quarterback I would want, and that is Bryce Witt, 6'4" out of Chowan. Chowan is not a HBCU, but because they are in the CIAA league, shout out to CIAA is coming up here to Baltimore this next weekend for the basketball. Bryce Witt, 6'4" guy. He done thrown over 8,000 yards in his college career, 79 touchdowns, about 3,000 rush yards. Y'all tell me who that sounds like. And he has a very strong arm. He's a big, like I said, 6'4", 240. He runs. He has a big upside to him. And he doesn't mind, giving the hit. So, like I said, Jackson. Oh, come on now. Come on. That's rhetorical. Number 5, a 5-star recruit that also played wide receiver. Yeah, come on. And then he's getting coached by one of the best in history, in NFL history, in my opinion. Argue me on it all day you want. One of the best corners to ever go down in history. So yeah, I definitely feel like he's gonna make a lot of noise.
Yeah, I mean the HBCUs are really getting put in the spotlight, and I think Deion Sanders has really helped with that because one, Deion's a big name, but for him to go to Jackson State and be as good as he was just brings that much more light on it. Because if he went there and they went, 5-7 or whatever, it'd be like, okay, whatever. But the fact that they got to the bowl game, they unfortunately lost their bowl game, if I'm remembering correctly.
So yeah, they did lose to South Carolina State.
Yeah. But it's all good.
Usually the MEAC, I'm not going to say they don't. I'm not going to say the MEAC doesn't have talent. I mean, how the NCAA, North Carolina A&T moved out the MEAC to go to the Big South Conference. So I mean, that just speaks on where talent is. I mean, and then even when they play against Tennessee State against Eddie George, I mean, you got Hugh Jackson down Grambling now. And they also UCLA, the former UCLA quarterback transferred to Grambling State. Also, if you all haven't heard, Spencer Rattler has transferred over to University of South Carolina. So looking forward to see how everything goes this upcoming season for college ball.
Oh, absolutely. It's going to be a lot of fun. Less fun as a Stanford football fan, but, oh well. It's all good. Other college football teams can have their thing, their day. Trade up with Carolina and take Kyle Hamilton. I need to bring up Kyle Hamilton. I was watching the HBCU Legacy Bowl, and I'm seeing some of the mock draft scrolling across the bottom of the screen. I see Bucky Brooks' mock draft. Mm-hmm. Kyle Hamilton, 15th to the Eagles.
Bro.
He's on the board when the Ravens are drafting. Now he had the Ravens drafting Linderbaum. But if Kyle Hamilton falls to the Ravens, it's over, NFL.
I see us striking while the iron is hot and taking Kyle. Like any guy that can boost the secondary in that type of way and form and fashion immediately. Like, and it's nothing against Brandon Stevens. Brandon Stevens is obvious. Let me restart. If we take a safety like a Kyle Hamilton, like even a Jordan Battle. I don't know the other safeties out there. I had to do my research. It's nothing against Brandon Stevens. I see Brandon Stevens getting moved to the nickel and used in different packages, and possibly us letting go of Trayvon Walker. Not Trayvon Walker, Tavon Young. Now, if we don't go safety in the first round, I don't know about you, McConnell, but Alvin De La Rosa out of Fayetteville State University. Number 7. I think he racked over 80 tackles in his career at Fayetteville. He won Freshman of the Year when he first started at Fayetteville. I want to say between 4 to 7 interceptions, 15 to 20 pass breakups. The dude knows how to get nasty and get those force those fumbles as well. And he has good IQ, good motor, and actually he was guarding. He was coming down to guard some of the tallest wide receivers. D. Anderson actually transferred from LSU and actually reminded me of, I've got his name, Terrence. Oh, there we go, Terrence Martin. He had a Terrence Martin type of build, and Alvin was shorter, but hey, he was getting with him, and you let us see that out of your guys. You play down and dirty. So we would love to see something like that happen. With Kyle Hamilton slipping to 14.
Yeah, Kyle Hamilton. I mean, I have him as my number 2 player in the draft. Mm-hmm. On TikTok, guys, I posted my top 5 like overall players. It was number 1 is Thibodeau, number 2 Hamilton, number 3 was Tyler Linderbaum, number 4 was I'm blanking on his name, Evan Neal, and then number 5 was Derek Stingley. But this is interesting. Jonathan Washington brings up, I heard the Washington Commanders can't call them the football team anymore, even though they are a football team. They're the Commanders are open to trading away one of their young D linemen like Deron Payne. I think he's a great pickup to bring in on his rookie deal to replace Calais Campbell and or Brandon Williams. Yeah, so one of the big things about Washington that's come out is they're willing to trade almost anybody. And I have heard even Chase Young is up potentially for a top-tier quarterback.
But hey, McConnell, what have I been saying? Who have I been talking about being a trade conversation? What team? It has been the Washington Commanders. Well, formerly known as the Washington Football Team, also formerly known as the Redskins. Also with Doug Williams that got them their first Super Bowl. So why not send a Tyler Huntley over there? They need a quarterback if they do not get Russell Wilson. For them to just say they're willing to trade anybody is crazy, but at the same time, hey, help us out if we don't sign back Calais Campbell, even though I think we will bring Calais back. Literally.
Yeah. Unfortunately, literally. Hey, at least they made it to the playoffs. They lost, but Taylor Heineke almost beat the Bucs. Overall, I think that just, when you look at trying to trade Tyler Huntley and the teams that could be looking out for him, Washington is absolutely a name that could bring him in. Mm-hmm. Carolina, I doubt it, just because they just traded for Sam Darnold, and we don't know how much they loved him. He may not.
I don't think they trust him as much. I feel like they may try to get the Sam. I think his name is Sam Howell.
Yeah, Sam Howell. Yes.
Well, they might try to keep the North Carolina guy in North Carolina. We never know, but I think their needs are like QB and not QB, but wide receiver and offensive lineman. So we just got to see. Should we sign Evan Ingram free agency? Shamil Lee, I'm happy to be a fan of the good Maryland football team. Hey man, listen, if you're from Baltimore, if you're a Baltimore's Ravens fan, we don't we don't represent the DMV. We don't claim to be from the DMV. We from Baltimore. You know how that goes, bro. Yeah, but I'm definitely happy to be a fan of the Ravens as well.
I'm back. All right. Sorry, I just missed the last couple of minutes. Or 1 minute. Let's see here. Jonathan says, unless Kyle Hamilton falls, I'm hoping the Ravens take the best offensive lineman prospect available. Tyler Linderbaum, Ikem Kwanu, Charles Cross, any of those guys I'm happy with. I've been seeing a lot of people have Charles Cross going very early in the draft, like top 6. I've seen him going that high.
Even over Neil?
I've seen Neil fall to like 7. And I've seen Cross up towards 6, where like both of them are top 6 picks, though. I've seen, which is like, because we have to think about it like position wise, like tackle. Right. I've seen Evan Neal going 1 in some mock drafts, which I think would be a big shock. But I want to pull up Tankathon.
He is a prolific. Right now, he is like the best left tackle coming into this combine and this year's draft, which is the 29th of April. Sheesh.
Yeah, I think it's like 27th through 29th or something.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be earlier, honestly.
Yeah, we got the combine relatively soon, which is very exciting.
Looking forward to that. I mean, I'm kind of 50-50 for the simple fact, it's just pretty much showman. It's showmanship at that time, and everybody's just going to go off numbers. Like, yeah. You can go off the best numbers at the end of the day, but if you don't really scout these young men and really get a feel for them and really, understand who they are as a person, you never know who you're going to get in your locker room. I mean, like I said, you can run a 4.2, 4.4 and still not, do anything with that 4.2, 4.4 speed.
Rashad Perriman.
There we go. I mean, I'm just saying,
And I think the biggest thing with the combine is amazing for fans to get players on the radar to then scout them. I think a lot of people just see the combine and they're like, oh, this guy ran a 4.2 or a 4.3. And they're like, I want that guy. Like, you have to look beyond that and say like, okay, do we actually want him? For example, a man named Jason Oweh went to the combine, ran a 4.3, and everyone was like, whoa, who is this guy? And he started rising up draft boards. And then it was like, okay, we actually got to scout this guy, see how good he thinks. And we talked about it. Don't draft him or Rousseau unless the Ravens go out and get a Justin Houston type. Ravens did exactly that. And I think it worked out pretty well. But like, you got to scout after the combine. You can get the guys that you think are gems before the combine to be like, oh, I wonder how they perform. But also then you can see, hey, that guy ran fast. Boom, let's check him out. Or he benched a lot, or his 3-cone was really good. But really, it's about the 40. That's all people care about. So overall, I think it's going to be really interesting to see how it goes.
No, most definitely. I'm hoping there's going to be some big names out there that end up having Orlando Brown type of combines.
I hear Evan Neal is a potential combine flop.
Possibly
drop to 14.
Maybe Trevor Penning drops to third roundish.
Oh yeah, Linderbaum has a bad combine, like has a hurt thumb or something, can't bench.
Ooh,
drops to the 2nd round. Because what's funny is like we all think like, oh, Linderbaum's absolutely going, top 20, top 15. What about Creed Humphrey? Like Creed Humphrey, it was like, oh, Creed Humphrey, 1st-round pick. Steelers are probably going to take him. Like all these teams were like, oh, they could go Creed. Creed went like late 2nd round. The Chiefs drafted them with the 2nd-round pick. I want to see which pick it was. I'm going to look that up real quick. because he was a phenomenal prospect.
Absolutely.
And he was selected second round. I know he was 63rd overall, second to last pick in the second round. Like he's just not at a position that a lot of teams are like, oh, I have to go get them.
I don't know. I don't even know the last time a center has been drafted like maybe top 10 or top 20.
Now I'm looking that up. Drafts by position. Let's see. Centers. Here we go. Cesar Ruiz was first round pick last year. 18th, Garrett Bradbury. 20th, Frank Ragnow. 26th, Ethan Poychik. Ryan Kelly, 18th. Cameron Irvin, 19th. Weston Richburg, 11th. Oh, wait, no, that was the second pick. That was the second round 11th pick. Oh, I got to find the ones. Wow, no, never mind. Wow. Marquise Pouncey was a first rounder. Alex Mack, 21st. Yeah, I'm not seeing really any like top 16. I wonder what the highest ever is.
And literally, the Pouncey brothers were a dime a dozen linemen. Like,
yeah,
they were literally unmatched.
14th, 1993. There we go.
Whew.
Yeah, it doesn't be happening. Center does not go early. And if the Ravens trade back and draft center, I think it's very possible.
I can see it happening. I mean, it really depends on like how does his free agency go. I know like what's his name? Armstead, offensive lineman out of New Orleans. I think he's up for a contract. I believe he's a free agent this year. I know guys are, a little hesitant about spending money on linemen. I get it, but the only person I may spend some money on is possibly, Ryan Jensen. I would love to bring him back.
Yeah. If you draft a first round lineman, they got to start.
Absolutely. Like, no questions asked. Like, we don't have time for them to be like, oh yeah, we're gonna play you a couple games. We're gonna work you in a couple games and then see how things go. No, from day one, since you got drafted, you are in the starting rotation.
Yeah, it's gonna be really, really interesting to see what the Ravens do, because it's not just offensive linemen, I guess. First round pick, especially if you're picking top 14, and the Ravens may trade back top 20, something like that. You need an instant starter. They have to start, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's with most first round picks. Like even last year, like Rashad Bateman and Odafe Owe, we're gonna start. They just, Rashad Bateman was hurt, but they drafted them to start. Marlon Humphrey was drafted to start. Lamar was drafted. He's a quarterback. It's different with quarterbacks because he was a transitional draft pick. But Hayden Hurst was the guy they drafted first. He was starting tight end from day one. So when they're looking at picking at 14, if a guy like Kyle Hamilton, who is absolutely able to start in the NFL right now, at 6'4", at his size and his speed, his length, his mind, it's unbelievable. He's able. Now, I don't know 100% if, a Sauce Gardner could start from day one, but the benefit of Sauce Gardner would be, just like when we had Marlon, we have veterans ahead of him, so he wouldn't, like, I don't think, if Sauce Gardner goes like 7th overall or whatever, I don't know who drafts 7th, I should probably look at that. Let's say Sauce goes to...
Is Carolina 7th?
The Giants. Giants are 7th. Let's say he goes to the 7th. He would struggle in New York because he'd be the number 1.
Yeah.
But if he's the number 3 in Baltimore and you put Marlon in the slot and it's like, oh yeah, you're guarding the number 2 outside wide receiver, very possible for him to start.
Honestly, I feel like if we go for Sauce, I feel like they will put him on the number 1 wide receiver, move Marcus Peters over to the number 2, and because of how Marlon is, he would be in the slot.
Yeah, And that's something that I'm completely okay with. Marlon switching to slot.
Giovanni, if we don't bring back Jimmy, I feel like Jimmy's going to retire after this year. I mean, he said it himself that he don't see himself playing with anybody else. I mean, I can respect him for that. I mean, even if he does try to go for another team, hey, at that point, he's just probably still collecting a last check. So what I mean, if he does that, man, it really falls on how everything works, how what they're talking about in at Owens Mills, what gets done. But I think this might be Jimmy's last year, man. Wouldn't be mad though. Wouldn't be mad.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of guys that we got to talk about with it. And guys, we will, just for the guys in the chat, we will be getting back to, I think probably, I'm assuming Tuesday, Joshua, we'll get back to recording the podcasts.
Yeah.
We'll be able to start doing those analysis of players. And so if you guys are relatively new in the summer, how we do it is we record twice a week for podcast episodes and talk about typically 3 or 4 subjects. And then we split those up and post them daily on YouTube, but they're on full podcast platforms as well. So we will definitely be talking Calais Campbell, Jimmy Smith, all of those types of questions, as well as, the little bit sprinkled in stream and stuff like that. So if you guys have questions, we can absolutely talk about them. And Cam Neal says Jimmy Smith can be some safety help and safety depth as well. Absolutely. I mean, just secondary help. Absolutely.
Listen, at this point, the Ravens need people on the team that actually plays and not take up a spot of being always injured. And I'm not talking about Jimmy Smith. We have had Aaron Millett, we have had Iman Marshall, Jordan Laxley. The list goes on, but those are some of the guys that I can name off the top of my head. And it really bothers me that Iman Marshall has been on this team for maybe about 3-4 years, and hasn't seen a damn lick on the field. It really bothers me because we trade away Sean Wade, and Sean Wade got a touchdown over him and stuff like that in New England, whatever. But we let go of depth because we thought we had enough, and it kind of backfired on us. So I think we definitely have to be more smarter in our moves this upcoming season.
Yeah, and Numra brings up an interesting point that I'm going to say I really want to agree with this. Says, I see us trading up. Pick 14 is a rough spot. I agree with that. I think we trade up with the Panthers. They have the 6th overall and need draft capital. That's understandable. After their first pick, their next isn't until the 4th round. Yeah, and you look at the Panthers and what they need, quarterback, right? This draft is not a quarterback great draft.
You maybe have like 10 quarterbacks
like
in this year's draft.
Oh yeah, and none of them are crazy good quarterbacks. Like Kenny Pickett is ranked as the number 1, but I would maybe say Matt Corral is number 1, but it's really
it could be argued. It could be argued, definitely.
And like, I mean, they could go 50. It's funny because like the last couple drafts, it's been like Burrow, Herbert, Tua, and they're all great. Lamar Jackson's draft was Baker, Sam Darnold, Josh Allen, Lamar. Now they totally draft Josh Rosen. They drafted them all completely out of order of how they should have gone, but it's all good. Ravens, I think, are happy with how it turned out, but it's not a draft. And last year, top 3 picks: Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, Trey Lance. And then Justin Fields was traded up for with, I think, the 9th or 10th pick. Giants traded back for Chicago. There's no quarterbacks this year to where teams are like, oh, I got to get this guy. I got to get him. We don't need that. So
literally,
them trading back to 14 could be very viable because we could give them a lot of depth in this draft. And at 6 gives us a lot of options. If we traded up for 6, who would you want?
I'm going Thibodeau. To have someone that's more solidified, and more polish at a defensive end side that will, give away that more freedom in the NFL. I see him and Thibodeau each going for 5 to 10 sacks apiece. One, you have a way chasing him, chasing the quarterback down, and then you have Thibodeau on the opposite side, racking up.
Exactly. And Thibodeau, I mean, I've said it before. I think Thibodeau is the best player in the draft, but he could very well fall. He could very well fall based on what other people are saying and what other teams need. Aiden Hutchinson, some teams may want that instant security because, like, right now he may be a better pass rusher. They may want that.
Kalafdis stock has rose up too. So
yeah, absolutely. And then, like, they may go cornerback with Stingley. Some teams may draft offensive tackle, like a couple OTs. Kyle Hamilton could be available, or Thibodeau. I mean, that is the number one option is Thibodeau. But I think it's possible. Adam says it ain't happening. I think with the Panthers it could if the Ravens traded significant draft capital. They would have to trade, obviously, 14. They would have to trade their second. They would have to trade their third, probably a fourth, and I would say a future second as well. But I think it would absolutely be worth it. Absolutely be worth it. And maybe even if we sent over Tyler Huntley as well, it would absolutely be worth it.
There's a strong possibility, y'all. We have seen Ozzy and we have seen EDC do some things that's got us ticked off and past drafts. So anything is possible.
If Evan Neal and Kayvon Thibodeau and Kyle Hamilton are picked, I'm going Derek Stingley Jr. Derek Stingley would also be a great pick. I have him as my number 5 prospect in the draft. I would love him.
Yeah, there's definitely nothing wrong with that one, Lance. I would definitely agree with that.
Yeah, and I just think overall, when you look at the possibilities, let's say the Ravens make this trade up for 6, and they do it like a week before the draft.
Mm-hmm.
Because the Panthers are like, we know we don't want a quarterback, or we know we don't want to pick 6 because, like, it's just not where we need. And the Ravens make that trade. Let's say they're sitting at 6. Maybe someone's there that they're not loving, right? Kyle's gone, Evan Neal is gone, Thibodeau is gone, and they're like, yeah, we don't love Stingley, we love Sauce Gardner. Maybe we trade back a little bit, and the Ravens could then trade back and get into 8 or 10. They could trade back and just get a little bit more draft capital to where they're still in a position where guys like Sauce, Linderbaum, Cross, who are other guys that the Ravens are linked with, Ojabo, Karlaftis, whoever it is, around pick 10, they could still be there, and they like trade back and they're like, hey, we still got options, let's get a little bit more. So we lose less for the trade with the Panthers, but it gets us into a position to where we can attack, because I don't know if the Giants will want to trade back with the Ravens, but they could trade up with the Ravens to get a little bit higher.
That's true. I mean, it literally can be a position. It literally can be a positional battle, because if we do trade up with the Carolina Panthers, with us sitting at 6, it's going to be a lot of teams that's going to be very envious, and they're going to be wanting to call, hey, what y'all think about doing with that 6th pick? Well, what you think about giving us? We done lost a lot of pieces. What you think about giving us? So, I mean, anything is possible. Anything is literally possible, and it's very interesting. I know we're talking about that we don't want to go for another wide receiver, but with everything going on, I don't know about you, McConnell, but watching this HBCU Legacy Bowl, 2 guys really stuck out to me. First is Marquise McClain. Marquise McClain started at Auburn. He started his college career at Auburn. The first 2 years, it wasn't working out for him. Then he went ahead and transferred over to Southern University. He is a 6'2", 230, 240 specimen. He has great hands. He doesn't mind going across the middle. He's actually was lined up in the slot and also as a vertical tight end as well. So, I saw a couple times where guys try to tackle him today, and he just laid the shoulder on and gave him that Debo Samuel type of work and kept on moving it forward. So I know we talking about we don't need wide receiver, but like I said, with everything going on, that could be somebody that could possibly slip to those later rounds, maybe undrafted. And hopefully the Raven scouts were at this game and maybe saw, hey, he could probably take us to the next level. I mean, we always talk about, Lamar needing someone that he can trust that can get you the yards at the catch, that can also go across the middle outside of Mark Andrews. And another one is a 6'4" specimen, Trey Goss. His player comp is Marcus Colston for the New Orleans Saints. And we all know how Marcus Colston was when he played for the New Orleans Saints. Deep ball threat, had good hands. He can get that separation. I think the longest catch he ever got while he was at Delaware State was over 59 yards. So, getting a guy that can stretch the field, that can actually catch the ball and doesn't take up space and time, like someone else I know, Miles Boykins. It was good to have those big body guys that I feel like that can get on the field and make an immediate impact versus, we sign them and they just end up being, casualty cuts,
Blank space. You're too funny, man. Harbaugh's want to fight. They don't want the smoke. They don't want it.
They really don't. They really don't, man. Come on, man.
I mean, did you see the fight Michigan put up against, the University of Georgia? You think Harbaugh's gonna get some guys fighting after that? Adit Mahmood says, I see the Ravens trading up in the second or third round for a tackle like Daniel Falele or Bernard Raymond. Raymond, I don't know. I'm gonna say Raymond. The price to move up would be lower than absolutely, and the benefit of that is you can still get a decent tackle. It may take them 5 weeks to become your starter, but the first 5 weeks of the season, that doesn't matter. Like if you have a bad O-line the first 5 weeks, that doesn't matter. It's when you have a bad O-line in the playoffs and you're like, oh no, right? So we may be a little bit hurt at the beginning of the year, but we got guys coming back from injury. Makari coming back from injury. He was terrific at the tackle spot. We've got Ben Cleveland, who's going to have a full year of experience now. Now he has a chance to become the starter. Kevin Zeitler, highly underrated signing. He played very well this season. I think a lot of people forget because the O-line as a whole played terrible. Zeitler was actually an elite offensive guard.
Was him and Bradley Bozeman's rankings? They were some of the top.
Yeah.
And honestly, if we get a developmental player this year, it wouldn't be bad for the simple fact of the schedule that we have. So I mean, that's another way to look at it like that as well.
Blank space. I don't think Engraven would appreciate you putting some slanderous words in Team Keep It Clean's mouth.
I don't know what to say about Blank Space. Blank Space been in the tear since he got here, man.
Oh man. Void says Jordan Davis has to improve his pass rush. Jordan Davis just needs to improve his stamina, I think, more than pass rush. He just needs to be able to be on the field. But overall, if the Ravens go tackle in the second round, which I am completely on board with, that gives them so many options in the first round. They could go edge rusher. They could go corner. They could go, I don't think they would go O-line, but they could go with a lot of different guys that could really be contributing. And whether it's even a Jordan Davis, I mean, it could be done. If the Ravens traded back, I think Jordan Davis will probably go around 20 to 25, unless his combine is really good, which it may be. He is an absolute freak athlete, but I'm expecting he'll go. So maybe the Ravens trade back, get another third, trade another pickup into the second. All of a sudden they have 2 second-round picks. They could draft Jordan Davis. So I'm not a major fan of drafting Jordan Davis. I love him as a prospect. But if you go Jordan Davis and then get 2 second-round players, including a There's plenty of safety options available in the second round.
And
Hill
and Nick Cross.
and Nick Cross.
Honestly, I'm liking the Nick Cross as the safety net for us.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we've already got our next Simi Fehoko is, I believe, Troy Anderson out of Montana State, linebacker. Yeah. But our second round pick, third round pick, Nick Cross. And I see Adit Mahmood says, I'm preparing for the Ravens to draft Michigan tackle Andrew Stuber, who is a mauler on day 3 because it's Michigan.
Okay, Adit. So I know Voice been asking. I'm not even going to address that because we're not doing too many more Michigan guys. After Mike McDonald, that's it. If we bring in David Ojabo or even Dax Hill, that's it. But I see Void. He keeps, he's interested to know of us signing Isaiah Wilson. I think did he originally start with the Titans? I think he got drafted by the Tennessee Titans.
Yes, if I'm remembering correctly, Titans. Then he was traded for a conditional pick to the Dolphins, I want to say.
And he like off the field issues or something like that.
He retired to become a rapper. If I'm remembering correctly, he retired to become a rapper. That's all I heard about it. I kind of want to look it up. I don't know if I can find anything on him.
Yeah, Jonathan. He said he got cut like after being there for like 2 weeks.
Blank space. We're not gonna fight Engraven.
Right. He pretty much opened the door for us and paved the way, man. So that's OG right there.
Let's see.
I know Shamil said he heard the Baltimore accent, Emmy. Yeah, I'm definitely from Baltimore, West Side, all day. I'm not even gonna lie to you, but I will be out in LA, so maybe that being McConnell and I first meet up.
Hey, potentially.
I'll be out there for my birthday. So yeah.
Oh man, Daddy Gaming, thank you so much for the super chat. Says, dude on the left looking fresh as heck. I like the hair, my guy. And bro on the right, you just get out of bed, homie. LMAO. Happy anniversary, bros. Thank you so much. Man, and for you, Daddy, I'm gonna show off the shoes again because there's more people in here. So I'm showing them off again. Oh, it's such a hassle, but it's totally worth it. Oh wait. Man, I gotta be really flexible to get this over the super chat. Here's the shoes. Oh my goodness. That's for you, Daddy. Thank you so much. Oh man. Oh yeah, it's crazy that it's been a year. If you guys didn't know, we had just a podcast and it was very inconsistent before we started up the YouTube channel. We did like a couple episodes getting back into it before the YouTube stuff, but yeah, like we started the YouTube and just went all in, and it's worked out really well thanks to all of you guys. So thank you so much. And Daddy says it made me 3 times fresher. So thank you. Thank you, Daddy. Oh man, I wish I hadn't said thank you, Daddy, but it's all good. Thank you, DG. Thank you, DG. Oh man. Brandon Tillman says Eddie Ravens straight down to the 16 pick to the Eagles and get a second round pick. I'm assuming I see Ravens trade down to the 16th pick and get a second round pick, so the Ravens can have the 16th pick and 2 second round picks taking the trade up. Do the Eagles pick 15 and 16?
Dude, I don't know.
Yeah, they do.
But see, that's the thing. Like, we literally can talk to Washington and see about, hey, y'all want a quarterback? What y'all willing to give us?
Exactly.
Like, we have to do something in free agency this year and it has to be it can't be one of those bottom tier. Oh yeah, he used to be a good guy. We still can get some good things out of him. No,
A
we need
Raven
a guy.
signing.
Yeah, we need an actual guy that's maybe before he hits 30 that we know that can still play in order, to go into this year's draft a little relaxed at the mind. Because yes, we will have, I feel like they will find a way to bring back Justin Houston if Justin Houston decides to play. I feel like he still wants to play. I feel like we will bring back Calais Campbell. Brandon Williams, I feel like Brandon Williams' time is done here in Baltimore. Dalen Hayes will be back from injury, but still, Dalen Hayes has high IQ. He has a good bend. He knows how to get at the quarterback, but still, you want to get someone that really is solid on the opposite side of Adafi. I was about to call him Jason Away. Like I said, he stressed me out with that one too. We've been calling you Jason all these years. Now you want to go by, your African name. Totally respect it. Once you get drafted, but that's neither here nor there. But like I said, you really had to, and you had to spend some money in this year's free agency to, give not only you all some relief, but us as fans some type of relief as well, because then we can start narrowing down our picks of how we're going to enter our war room come the end of April.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's going to be really interesting to see how many things go on with the Ravens up until the draft, because we're yet to really get into the I don't know, the rumor mill of, oh yeah, I know Tyrann Mathieu is going to be a guy in a lot of people's minds. Last year it was Allen Robinson, it was Kenny Golladay. Who else was it? Who else was big? Corey Davis, I guess.
Yeah.
Right to the first episode. Who else was big for the Ravens?
The only rumor that came true was Justin Houston.
Yeah, Justin Houston. Melvin Ingram was another big one. Potentially Von Miller, who did end up getting traded. So, that was a possibility. The Ravens just didn't trade for him. Who's the Bucs linebacker? Outside linebacker. Shaq Barrett.
Yeah. I think we did say something about Jadeveon was maybe possibly come to Baltimore.
He ended up visiting, I want to say.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, before he ended up going. I don't even remember where he went.
Thanks, Lance. Juju. That was another one.
Yes. I wanted Juju. I really wanted Juju. Ravens offered him like $10 million, I think. And he went to Pittsburgh for $8 million, I want to say.
Yeah, he's pretty much, it was a little too thing. He wanted to run it back in Pittsburgh. Looking forward to Dwayne Haskins starting. I feel like he deserves a spot in the NFL. He literally got dealt a bad hand over in Washington. The coach didn't want him. Offensive lineman was laughing at him, and he was trying to reconcile with his team and be a leader. I'm like, yeah, I pretty much would have punched everybody in their face at that point and just would have left out the building. But hey, that's me.
Yeah.
Really, JJ Watt?
I mean, our second video was on JJ Watt, so
okay.
But it wasn't huge. It was like JJ Watt. Did he get cut by the Texans? I think it was cut by the Texans, but it was like an intentional, like, hey, do you want to get released kind of thing, if I'm remembering correctly.
Kind of, sort of.
Who do you want in free agency? Realistically, Tyrann Mathieu. I mean, that's my big name free agent. Would be Tyrann Mathieu.
If I'm being honest, I would rather take Zadarius Smith. Reason I say that because I like my front seven. He brought a lot of energy. He brought a lot of leadership to that front seven, and just having someone more polished from the opposite side of Odafe Oweh and Tyus Bowser as well. That's someone that can get to that quarterback. I mean, he was doing that with Matthew Judon, and I do think it's Zadarius Smith before you guys start bashing me. I think that is a realistic move. Yes, he did He did leave Baltimore. He did get paid, but I think he would rather get a Super Bowl with Baltimore. I don't
Yeah.
know.
And he
Maybe.
didn't like Wink. That was the problem. He hated the Ravens defense. And we lowballed him. But the Ravens defense sucked for edge rushers. You're not going to get any praise if you're.
Yeah. When it comes to that secondary, I'd rather go young. I'm gonna be real. I'd rather go young. These wide receivers that we play against are young. Um, Marlon Humphrey's been getting burnt, and he's getting older. You know, and that's because he's been playing with a lack of ball skills. So
Yeah, we could see Zadarius Smith end up getting cut by the Packers, coming to Baltimore, coming back home to Baltimore. I think that would be really cool. I see this is interesting. Adam78 says, now that the Steelers have signed Brian Flores, do you see them going after Deshaun Watson, who Brian Flores wanted to trade for as a Miami head coach? I don't think so. It would be because of Brian Flores, because his job is executive defensive assistant.
yeah, like senior executive, yeah, something like that.
So, like, if he was an offensive assistant, I think that's a possibility. But since he's like not super, like he's not in the offensive decision making process, I don't think he would be the reason. Now, they could very well go after Deshaun Watson because it's Deshaun Watson and he's a great football player. And somehow, if all of the stuff gets settled outside outside of football, we've seen them have a quarterback that has had some controversial things happen that they employed for about 18 years. So I don't think that they would be against Deshaun Watson whatsoever. So I think it's a possibility. I don't think it would be because of Flores, though.
Yeah. I actually, if just briefly, since we're on it, I really feel like this Brian Flores move, it's literally a chess move for him to still stay in the NFL. Because if he's some type of way, if this leads to him like calling the defensive plays, if he gets that defense back to that Pittsburgh style of defense, there's going to be people at that following year that's going to be calling him for a head coaching job once again. I mean, I do feel like he almost did get blackballed, with the whole situation, how it was playing out. But he's, like I said, that was a chess move, and him working with Mike Tomlin, they probably had some conversations, and Mike Tomlin probably told him like, "Look, do a year with me, we work together. We're gonna get you. We're gonna get you a head coaching job, and we're gonna play against y'all. Don't worry." you know.
Indeed, I love the Marvel reference. I'm a huge Marvel fan. It says we need to take care of how we address pass rush and quarterback protection than Doctor Strange does to the multiverse. Smith could make that draft strategy better, and the comp pick formula isn't messed with. Yeah.
Absolutely. That's what I'm saying. Like, you literally, this year's free agency coming up, you can't get no oh yeah, I'm on my last leg type of guy. No. If you're really in true position to want to win, you have to get some guys that's still good at what they do and can be a big contributor. And that takes a lot of pressure off this year's draft. Because on top of that, this year's draft, you still got to give, number 8 a contract extension. If 5, I think 5 is doing a mental health breather from football right now. I feel like he'll be ready when this upcoming season comes. But you still also have to work out a deal with him as well. So, yeah, I definitely feel like you have to spend some money in this year's free agency to alleviate some of these pressures going to in this year's NFL draft. And like I said, I mean, trade Tyler Huntley is nothing against him. I do feel like Tyler Huntley is a solid enough quarterback, to lead someone's team, possibly to a playoffs. Give him a full year to play. Like I said, you can go get Bryce Witt at Chowan. And since y'all guys like the mobile quarterbacks, because you're not getting Malik Willis, you're not getting Cunningham out of Louisville. That's not going to happen.
Yeah. And when we're looking at it in terms of, Tyler Huntley, I don't think it's a negative at all for us to say trade him. I think it's a positive. We're like, hey man, you deserve to start. Like, let's
Literally.
get you that opportunity. And I think that the Ravens organization could very well see it that way. You know, we saw them hold on to Tyrod Taylor. I was thinking his first name was Taylor, and I was like, wait, no, that's Tyler Huntley. Tyrod Taylor
Yeah.
and Tyler Huntley, different people. Tyler Huntley, you know, could be that next guy where it's like, oh, hey, Ravens backup quarterback, because the Ravens are so good at developing like solid level talents. Like we see them in the preseason. There's a reason why the Ravens have the longest preseason win streak ever. It's because they're so good at getting those guys together. And man, I am going to mess this up one day. I'm probably going to be saying that now. So thank you for putting that into my head, Void. But like I see this Darius Williams, the number 2 cornerback from the LA Rams. I don't know if I would love it. I think he's one of the biggest named free agent cornerbacks. I think he's going to get a big payday.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to spend a ton of money on another corner. Like we're already paying Marlon, we're already paying Marcus, and we could pay a rookie. That's why I'm for drafting a rookies, because we get them. We could let Marcus walk or sign him to a cheap deal next year to be able to maintain him. But overall, the rookie is the cheap option. And I still like I like Darius Williams. I just don't think it's very feasible for the Ravens to do it. I think the only way they bring him in is if they cut Marcus Peters, which I don't expect them to do, and they go with Darius. But I don't think they would do that, and I wouldn't want to do that. I'd probably rather keep Marcus over Darius Williams.
And we actually missed our chance on Zay Howard this year too. So that's another one that's going to be leaving Miami or be requesting a trade. Which, damn, someone does need a corner, and Miami could trade him away to Carolina. Because if Carolina do, give away that 6th pick, I did see them actually going at the Sauce. And Sauce and JC Horn on opposing sides from each other, that doesn't sound too bad. I'm just saying. If I'm a Carolina fan.
Yeah, I agree with this, Jonathan. I definitely agree with this. If he gets a big payday, don't bring him in. I don't want the Ravens using a lot of cap space or a high draft pick on a cornerback. I understand the high draft pick on a cornerback. If the Ravens go, 3rd round cornerback, I'm okay with that. Or 2nd round guy if they get someone of need at 14. But Logan Bruss. I got to look up who Logan. I honestly don't know anything about Logan Bruss, so I'm going to look him up.
That's definitely a new name to me. I'm going to be honest.
Offensive lineman out of Wisconsin. Now let's see.
Wisconsin guys have been making
It says he's a guard. So I doubt it. I don't expect the Ravens to draft any guards in this draft, unless he's a guy that can switch into center.
I was going to say, type of dude.
Yeah. I mean, we got a lot of 4th round picks, so possibly the Ravens love drafting guards every year, especially guards named Ben. So it's less likely that his name isn't Ben, because there's probably a lot of Ben offensive linemen in this draft. Let's see.
Gee, Adam, give us a break.
Ooh. I know a lot of fans support Hollywood, but what are your thoughts on trading Hollywood in a 4th round pick for Calvin Ridley, who's on the trade market? They are both on rookie contracts. Calvin Ridley, great player. The real question mark with Calvin Ridley is, does he want to play? Calvin Ridley took a step back from football, didn't play for the rest of the season last year after, week 6 or week 7. If it was something where he said, I want to play, I would be down for it. But the thing is, Calvin Ridley is going to get a monster contract when he finishes his rookie deal. However, Hollywood's not. Hollywood's going to get a good contract because he's fast. He can make big plays, but he's not going to get near the money Calvin Ridley's going to get. So overall, I think keeping Hollywood would be safer for future cap implications. But I do love Calvin Ridley. I just don't think that trading Hollywood for him would be viable. But what do you think, Joshua? Are you potentially down for it?
Honestly, I don't want to trade. I don't want to trade Hollywood. But that's the real kicker about Calvin Ridley right now. Where is he at mentally? I mean, a lot of guys, whether it's sports, work now, I want to say they are using it, but they are expressing it more. That they are that the mental health is not always there, and we got to take this. We gotta take that seriously, man. You gotta take that seriously. And Calvin really, shout out to him that he took the year off to really get himself, in a better headspace. I mean, I definitely hope he comes back to, playing football. I don't think he wants to be in Atlanta anymore. So, maybe we could get him maybe for a couple fourth round picks because it's just one of those mutual things that they're trying to move away from. But like you said, McConnell, he is really up for a more big contract if he comes back on all cylinders, catching the ball, stretching the field, getting the yards at the catch, doing what he did best. And in Hollywood, until he has a consistently Tyreek Hill type of seasons, and we use him in that type of way, he's going to get a solid contract, mid-tier contract, but not a big one. Yeah, until he consistently becomes 1,000-yard rusher. I mean, excuse me, 1,000-yard receiver, a 10 touchdown type of guy. He would have had that this year, but with Lamar almost getting hurt, uh, things kind of went downhill for him. So I don't see us really trading Hollywood for Calvin Ridley. Got to see where Calvin Ridley is mentally, and if he still want to play ball.
Is this last year or this year? It's the 1 year anniversary. We're still getting the exact same question.
Hey, man, it does feel like that, but hey.
Do we want AB? I love AB. I think he's a great player. I don't think it's worth it because I think the Ravens are set at wide receiver. If AB comes, Devin Duvernay's not getting the ball. Rashad Bateman's not getting to be able to improve. And it's just going to probably cause more negative than good because the Ravens don't throw the ball enough for AB. Like, he wants the ball, and I completely understand that. And if he doesn't get what he wants, he may, I'm not going to say he's going to go crazy by any means, but he may stir some things by saying, we got to get rid of Greg Roman. Now, I am completely on board with that. So maybe I do want AB to come and make the Ravens get rid of Greg Roman. But as of right now, I just don't think it's worth it.
Antonio, I don't know his middle name, Brian. It's a showman. Whether it's on the field or off the field, he's going to show out. Whether it's good or bad, he's going to show out. Me personally, I'm not worried about all the negativity around him. I feel like if he came into the Ravens organization, he would most definitely contribute in a big way. Now, the thing is, we do have an offensive coordinator by the name of Gregory Roman that, before he became our offensive coordinator, was coaching high school football. Not taking nothing away from him at all. But at the same time, he has taken this high school football offensive playbook and has emulated and instilled it into, our Ravens offensive core. And now, because we have this great playbook by Gregory Roman, we're not going to see our wide receivers be showcased in the way we would love for them to be, as opposing wide receiver cores like Jamar Chase and T. Higgins and Tyler Boyd, or Juju and Chase Claypool, and maybe James Washington, DeAndre Hopkins, and company out there in Arizona, Tyreek Hill and company, McCole Hartman in the Kansas City. That's just not what we do. So I don't want AB to come here and he becomes sour. That's why I would actually want the Marquise McClain out of Southern University because he can flex out and play tight end. You can possibly put him in that backfield in that package that Greg Roman solely loves to run with 22 personnel. And then, my quarterback, if you trust him enough, can call an audible in order to stretch the offense. So right now, no, I don't want AB. But if AB was to come to this team and start slandering Greg Roman, I feel like the offense would follow suit because it took a Des Bryant to start expressing how he felt for this offense to start, expressing how they've been really feeling. So who knows?
I'm with it, man. I'm with it. Let's get him.
Blank, you're about to get blocked, bro. I don't want that damn fire that he's bringing, man. I'm sorry, man.
Oh man,
I don't want none of that.
you know what? It'll help us see some Rashad Bateman training camp highlights. We get like 8 Most videos every day. It'd be great.
No, man, I'm good, man. If Rashad ain't mossing nobody in the game, man, I don't want to see him just keep on mossing on Eli, man, on that apple pack. I don't want my team to keep smoking on that apple pack, bro. I'm gonna be real.
That's very fair. Very, very fair. Yeah, if we can get AB for free, I'm down. I'm down for free AB. In hashtag free AB and hashtag AB for free can be the mottos.
Shane, is it Sean Desai? I don't think so.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think it would because we have Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson is going to give you an elite running game no matter what. Now, they may have certain plays that aren't able to get, they may not have as many explosive runs, but the passing game would be so much better to where it would still work.
You got to think about it too. You still got JK. You still got JK and guys coming back as well. So
yeah,
even honestly, I think in order for us to be a Super Bowl style team, I feel like we have to go pro off offense and a lot of play action. Almost run the same type of playbook. Void. He has a great thing going down there in Alabama. He has Bryce Young for another year. He's not doing that. He's not doing that. No, he's not doing that. But I feel like we need to run a Gary Kubiak type of style of offense for Lamar Jackson. He doesn't need to play action. But think about adding play action to this offense. I mean, hell, he was in a pro set at Louisville. I think that's what stresses me out the most when people say, Lamar Jackson was a transitional quarterback. No, Lamar Jackson was not a transitional quarterback. Lamar Jackson was literally put in a situation where he almost didn't succeed because why? Our egotistical. I know I'm saying the wrong word wrong. Forgive me now. Head coach wasn't planning on playing him no time soon. He wasn't. Joe Flacco was his guy. But when Joe Cool went down, what did he have to do next? Hey, we're gonna give you a couple plays. Don't get too out of hand. Run these plays. Do what you gotta do. What do you do, McConnell? He ran those plays and got
did okay.
he ran those plays, got a 6-1, got us into the playoffs. Next thing you know,
yeah,
the sky's the limit.
Should we sign Marcus May? Marcus May is an interesting option. I think he'll get a little bit too much money for the Ravens to go after him, but he wants to leave New York. He got franchise tag. He was not happy about it. But if he's making a lot of money, I think he will get a lot of money, so I don't think it's super likely, but I don't know.
Jonathan, thank you. We're not gonna do this today because it's our 1 year anniversary. But yes, I mean, yes. Zach Taylor trusts the sugar honey iced tea out of Joe Burrow and lets him call all types of audibles. He lets him play free. Greg Roman holds Lamar back from the late minute play calling to everything. Yeah, we're not going to do it today. Today's been a good day. Today's been a good day.
Void, I do not know if Samson Ebukam is a free agent. I will look that up. I like Ebukam. He's just a really good athlete. He's with San Francisco. Oh, he signed a 2-year deal with San Francisco, so he's still under contract. Right. I don't think Hayden Hurst will come back. Ryan Jensen possibly, but I don't think Hurst is coming back.
Actually, I think Hayden Hurst would come back.
Ooh, okay.
Hayden Hurst is, if he hasn't came to the reality of his life, first of all, let's be real. Dude, you got drafted when he was 26. Either you should have stayed, I understand. You couldn't play, I believe you couldn't play baseball anymore, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. It's crazy how you could have a career-ending baseball injury, but you couldn't play football. Not even going to go down that wheelbarrow. But no, seriously though, if you was not doing it in Atlanta and they drafted Kyle Pitts, what makes you think that you're going to become a prolific number one tight end? Now you can be another piece, maybe in Los Angeles for the Chargers, or even for us coming back to us. But right now, on the way your career started and how it's been going, bro, you're not number one tight end starting material at this point. You are a guy that's supposed to be implemented in a package, and you're supposed to get your touches. I'm like, either way, you still see the field. I mean, he literally still saw the field when we had Nick Boyle and Mark Andrews, and they was all healthy. So, him being the sole number one tight end and just always seeing the field, I'm like, dude, you gotta chuck it up. You gotta chuck it up at some point.
I think that's definitely very fair. If he wants to continue being in the NFL, yeah, maybe he has to come to Baltimore. And let's see. I like Karloff displaying space.
Yeah, we definitely do.
Let's see. Let's draft Derek Deese in round 4. Let's see. I don't know much about Derek Deese. He looks really big. Tight end. Okay. He's the San Jose State tight end. Okay. Yeah, he's possible. Ravens already do have a San Jose State tight end on the roster. His name's Josh Oliver. I don't know if you guys have heard about the weapon, Josh Oliver. But yeah, I mean, he can block. He can catch the ball. That's definitely a possibility.
I mean, anything is possible, but at this point, the only way we can get creative with this offense if you have a hybrid style of tight end / fullback. That's why I keep on saying, the reserve deal with Ben Mason. Literally, he can play tight end. He can be a fullback. He can get you the block and he can catch the ball. So I mean, you can call different packages out of that. So anything is possible. We just got to get some creativity, whenever that may be. But with Gregory Roman, we don't know how that may go. But I do got my fingers crossed. I do have high hopes. As some, that's the bad part of being a Ravens fan. So yeah.
Yeah, this stream's been going on for a very long time, as Lance points out. Do you guys have any other questions that you guys want to ask? Before we kind of wrap it up. There's not a ton of Ravens news going on, but if you guys have any other questions, we can definitely try and get to them. But I think we're getting pretty close to being all set. But do you have anything else that you want to talk about, Joshua?
Nah, man, I'm pretty much good. Only thing I would say, look out for a couple guys in that HBCU Legacy Bowl. Christian Clark, 6 foot, 6 foot inside defensive lineman, 343 pounds. I already talked about Marquise McLean, the wide receiver out of Southern University. Alvin De La Rosa, the safety from Fayetteville State. Khalil Wilkins, running back from Bowie State. Tevin Singleton, cornerback from Bowie State. And Ontario Johnson, linebacker. So there's a lot of talent everywhere. Um, you know, just looking forward to some Ravens news in the next month or so.
Absolutely. All right, guys. I think that's gonna be it. Thank you guys so much for coming into the stream and also just checking out the videos in the last year. It's been a lot of fun. Obviously, we're gonna keep growing, keep improving, and keep you know putting in some work. So thank you everybody, and we'll see all of you again tomorrow.